to day 6 of our 10-day leadership challenge. And the purpose of these short, quick little videos is to help us just keep the momentum going. So January is just completed, so we've crossed over into February, and we want to make sure that our first quarter of 2025 is as strong as possible. And around the world, lots of people who made they felt that they were committed to their New Year's resolutions are no longer following those resolutions. Sometimes people can't even remember what they said on January 1. So we decided to do this 10-day challenge just so that we can keep the momentum going. So day 6, we're focusing on priorities. And as I said at the ending of day 5, when we have too many, so like when we say, oh, we have 100 different things that we're trying to do in this space and time, well, it really means that we don't have a priority, because you can't focus on that many things at a time. So the question that I ask my leadership clients often when we do our weekly check-in is I ask the question, are your daily actions aligned with your priorities? So if we look at, what's in that calendar, is it really aligned with those things that we said we wanted to accomplish in 2025 or in this first 90 days of 2025? So take a second and ask yourself, if someone followed you around for a full day, would they be able to tell what your top priorities are? And sometimes when I'm on the couch and I'm not focused, that little question comes to mind. It's like, if one of my mentors was with me at this time, what would they be saying to me as they saw my behavior? So take a look, take a second, ask yourself, for today, if someone followed you around for a full day, would they be able to tell what your top priorities are? John Maxwell, who, if you've seen many of my videos, is one of my mentor. I call him a mentor from afar. I'm a part of the international group of the Maxwell team. And John Maxwell asked, is what you're doing today getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow? If the answer is no, or you're not sure, then today's lesson is for you. Because all of us have those days when we sit and we reflect, we realize that we are totally off market. We're totally off the target. We're not even close. So too often we fall into the trap of being busy instead of being effective, answering emails, attending endless meetings, reacting to other people's demands. But real progress comes from focusing on the high leverage actions, the things that move the needle the most toward our goals. And so one of the things I encourage my coaching clients to do, identify the top 3 things that you want to accomplish in the week. And we work on those first. And then with the extra time, we can add things on. But at least it means that every week you're focused on your priorities and you are getting those things done. And sometimes people are even afraid to do that because they have this fear that if I focus, what about the other things? But guess what? When you focus, you move forward. And ironically, you create space for doing additional things. So when I say high leverage actions, what am I talking about? Well, they are actions that create the maximum impact with the minimal effort. So I'm a nurse by training, and the most of my career has been spent in healthcare. And so we know when they do research about how we can get better outcomes for patients, there are some things as we do them, doesn't have a big impact. And there are others when we focus on those things are what help patients to get better quicker. So rather than doing all the things that really won't have any impact, in healthcare, one of the areas of focus for quality improvement and continuous improvement specialists is all about helping our teams to know what are the high leverage things that we can do to help our patients get better quicker. So that's the same thing. We need to know for our personal lives or when we're working with our teams, what are those high leverage or what are those things, if you do them first, you will get maximum effort and maximum outcome. So guess what? Many of you have heard about the 80-20 rule, right? The Pareto, and which says that 80% of results often come from 20% of the work. So that's when you get clear about what are those 20% that's going to push you forward to achieve 80% of the results. These high leverage actions, they align with our long-term vision. Every day, we're either moving closer to our goals or we're further away. So it means that we're giving thought every day to those things that are going to get us closer to our goal. These high leverage actions, they require focus, they require discipline, and they require saying no to distractions. In my last vice president job in Canada, our CEO would often say to the leadership team, stop running behind the shiny pearls. So stop being everything that looks good. We're becoming distracted. And what we end up doing when we follow the shiny pearl, often it leads not just us, but the entire organization off track. And so we don't do the best for the people that we serve. So they require focus, they require discipline, and saying no to distractions. If everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. So how do we stay focused? Here are 3 simple techniques to help you cut through the distractions and prioritize what matters. So the Eisenhower matrix is a simple matrix, or simple tool that helps you categorize based on 2 factors, urgency and important. So the things that are urgent and important, we do these immediately. The things that are important but not urgent, we schedule those. Urgent but not important, those are often the things that we can delegate if possible. And neither urgent nor important, we need to eliminate those. Those are ones that we're not going to put on our schedule. So by being focused, knowing exactly what we're trying to achieve, it means that we can say a stronger no. Okay, so take a look at your to-do list for the next week. Use the Eisenhower matrix to categorize your task. If your schedule is packed with urgent but low impact tasks, it's time to rethink where your energy is going. Time blocking is another tool, strategy that we can use, because often if it's not scheduled, it won't get done. So, and then dedicate specific time blocks for deep focused work. That's where you tone out everything, free of distractions like emails, meetings, or social media. So for example, when I'm doing deep work, what I do is I turn my phone over, I turn off my WhatsApp, I actually shut down my email, and I shut down my LinkedIn notifications. And I give myself a specific time, right? Am I going to do this for 30 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours? So it requires discipline to say, now I really need to think and I need to dive into this project or this thing that I'm working on. So practice it. what I recommend is like, building your muscles. So practice it first for 15 minutes and then keep increasing the time. But you need to block, especially for deep work. Then the one thing rule, meaning that old thing that you hear people talking about being amazing multitaskers, the research shows that we don't do that well. So each day, ask yourself, what's the one thing that I can do today that makes everything else easier or unnecessary? Then do that first. And then focus on one thing at a time. Allocate the time for it, get it done, move to the next thing, instead of trying to move in between multiple things. So the one thing rule, you can think about it in two ways. Choose one thing to do for today. So that's like the top priority of what I'm going to do today. Get it done. Then also carry it through to focus one thing at a time. So in summary, use the Eisenhower matrix to categorize your top tasks for the next week. Choose one high leverage action to complete today. So that's the thing that you're going to start with. So, we want you to be interactive with us. So whenever you listen to this video, give us an example of one top priority that you're working on in the chat. Because when you share, that's how we support each other in staying focused. So your ability to focus determines how fast and how effectively you'll achieve your goals. Distractions will always exist, but you get to decide whether your attention goes with the distraction, and you can choose. So tomorrow we're going to reinforce everything we've learned so far and dive deeper into habits that create lasting success. So look forward to seeing you. Add comments to the comment section and check out our next video. Have an amazing day.